Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane, and I am just about to interview Sahir, champion, producer, editor, director. He does it all, and all from Los Angeles. So let's take a look at this fascinating gentleman. Welcome back, darlings. I'm TV host, entertainment journalist, Cognac Wellerlane, and today I have a very important guest. His name is Sahir Champion, and I want to tell you all about him. Before the interview, I want everyone to know a little bit about Sahir and what he is really all about. Sahir Champion is making waves in the media industry with his contributions as a producer, a director, and editor with over 20 years of experience and a passion for storytelling. The acclaimed creator is using his expertise to share visual images that inspire vast audiences. Champion's success stems from humble beginnings and large aspirations. The New York City resident was exposed to the harsh realities of the world from a young age as he recalls the drug abuse, poverty, and racial stigmas that enveloped his community. Finding a source of escape in hip-hop and entrepreneurship, Champion swerved away from the corporate America path and attended the Newhouse School of Public Communications at Syracuse University, where he focused on television, radio, and film production. Now, welcome to my show. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for being a guest of my TV show, Cognac's Corner. So,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, tell my audience about your balancing act between your contributions as a producer, director, and editor. I mean, you wear a lot of hats. Can you tell my audience a little bit about how you cover everything and how you are able to create?
Sure, absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you once again, Cognac, for allowing me to come on your platform and share my experience and knowledge and wisdom. And hopefully some of the things that I can impart on others, they will be able to find of use and find some good nuggets and jewels in there. I originally started in post-production, working as an editor. And as an editor, you wind up inadvertently wearing a lot of hats because you learn the process. And filmmaking is a process because no one can do it alone. You know, from the crew to the client to the talent to hair and makeup, there's a lot of revolving, moving parts. And working as an editor, you work towards the back end as far as creating the story. Sometimes you're a writer because you have to rewrite VO. So inadvertently, you do learn other skills. Actually bored with hitting keyboards and computers and things of that nature. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let me do what I do for everyone else for myself. And at that moment is when I became a producer. And what I realized is that me being an editor and understanding post actually made me a better producer because now I know how long it takes to do certain jobs and what's involved. So I really believe that to be a great leader, you have once had to have been a follower in a sense. So to supervise other people, you need to have experience doing those kinds of positions and that kind of work to know what's entailed, how long something will take. You also need to know if someone's telling you the truth. Yeah. And you need to know what the value of that is. And the only way to really have that firsthand knowledge is to have done that position yourself. So from there, I naturally grew into a producer and a director, directing my own shoots, getting my own clients and projects, and then also producing. And then the next level to that, I moved into content as an executive producer where I would package deals. Let's say I had a writer who had a very great project and they had some attachments. I would package the bundle, so to say, with the script, the talent meaning the actor, the writer, or the director, and then I would find an investor to invest in their project. So it has been a great journey, and I'm just looking forward to the next part of the journey.
Is it easier to create content and produce something now? What is your focus? Is it television? Is it cinema? Is it internet? Or you just do it all?
I do it all. In this modern day and age, you must do it all.
You have to. I know.
Yeah.
I'm on TV too. I'm on public access television in Long Island and Manhattan. So I do everything. Not only do I do internet interviews on Zoom, but I also do television as well. You have to.
You have to. I mean, it's the same medium stuff. It's just knowing specifically formats for Instagram. It's 1x1 versus, so there's little format differences, but creating is creating, whether it's a short film or a documentary or a commercial, you have to create it and put together the story. And from there, where it goes, it's just a matter of the platform.
So people come to you they have stories, they have content, they want to get it off the ground. And because you are a very well-respected producer and director, they come to you and you work on their project, basically. Yeah,
well, it all depends on the project. So if it's a commercial or music video where I have a client, they'll pay me for something specific. So to be like, oh, we need a music video, in which case we would come up with a concept and, a budget and all of that kind of stuff. The content stuff's a little different because it usually takes more financing and it usually has to have more legs and connect, and more of the dots have to be connected. But there's still an opportunity. So if someone comes to me and they say, hey, I've got a great script, and I'd ask them, first of all, the storyline is always important. It's all about story because we're storytellers, and without a story, there's nothing to tell.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it has to start with the story, and then we just build it out. But the content is a little bit more trickier because instead of a work for hire where a client would hire me, I would be a part of the executive team where we would own it. And basically what I'm talking about is the difference between having a job and being an owner. And that to me is very important because that's the side of entrepreneurship that I'm talking about owning intellectual property. With intellectual property, you have rights, just like you have rights with real property. And those rights are assignable. So it's basically the difference between working once and getting paid once, or having this intellectual property that's a continual income revenue generating stream.
Is that the reason why you started your own business? I mean, tell us the journey about why you wanted to start your own business.
Well, the main reason why I wanted to start my own business was because there haven't been any opportunities for Black people, really. I mean, I've been in the industry 20 plus years, and I saw people who came into the business later than me and who have gone further title-wise because of the right color. And I've never been the right color. So I realized a long time ago that no one was going to give me an opportunity. I was going to have to create opportunities for myself and for others. And that's what I've been doing. I find my own clients. I hustle. I get the word out. I have a lot of referrals. My network is a strong value, and it has a high net worth to me because in this business, it's a lot of referral and word of mouth. So I get a lot of clients that way.
Well, I will tell you for myself, I get people telling me things too, and I'm, a pretty white girl. I've had people tell me, oh, you're too out there. Oh, you're too old. Oh, you're nobody can, you have to look more conservative. That white hair, get rid of it. That platinum hair. I've had many, many people that are prejudiced against me just because of the way, oh, you're too pink. Oh, you're too this.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's silly. It's like they want you to be like a carbon copy of what they think you should be, what everybody should be. What are we, robots here?
Well, you know, let's face it, Cognac, when people do that, they're telling you more about themselves than they are about you, right? They're projecting how they may feel about you or more importantly, how they feel about themselves, right? And those are the same exact reasons why I had to form my own company and look for opportunities for other minorities, Black people, men and women, to have opportunity, because you know, it's like the good old boys club, right?
Right.
It takes a long time to defeat the good old boys club, but with education and timing and understanding, I feel like we have a great opportunity to combat those kinds of isms, right? Racism, ageism, sexism.
Well,
Isms are all
I have that.
diseases.
I mean, you know, oh, you're too eccentric, you're too this, you're too that, you're too pink, you're too glamorous. I get this all the time.
Right.
I think it's really ridiculous because.
Well, it's to put you in a box, and it makes those people more comfortable putting you in a box. It's like, for me, I have clients that knew me when I was primarily editing, and now sometimes some of them see me as a producer and director, and they're like, you don't do that. I was like, you know, I'm like, well, it's been 15 years since we worked together. I do a lot of things. Chances are I do more than what they do. So it could be a threat to them, right?
I'm sure.
Oh, how can you produce and direct and edit? And so they don't understand it because they don't have those chops, but I refuse to live confined by anyone else's box.
That's why I do what I do. I feel, well, if you're not going to put me on your network, if you're not going to hire me as a, you know, reporter or as an entertainment journalist, I'll just do it myself. And that's what I've done. And a lot of people know who I am. A lot of celebrities watch me. A lot of celebrity, Ashanti watches me. She says, Cognac, don't you want to interview me? I was at Fashion Week. She goes, Cognac, don't you? It's Ashanti. It's Ashanti. I says, oh, okay, come on, let's do an interview, you know? But so tell us what motivates you professionally. I mean, do you have a specific genre that you enjoy doing the most? Do you like creating film the most? Do you like doing music videos the most? What do you like to do the most? What motivates you the most?
Well, just telling stories motivates me in general. The format really doesn't matter, but there are certain perks and benefits of certain formats versus others. The benefit of doing a music video is you get to work on something really cool, maybe high profile. The project that I just finished working on was a project for Janae Aiko and Def Jam. So we just did.
I know Jeff Jam. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just did 4 projects with Janae Aiko. So the benefit of that is working with a major superstar, and the creative is really, really out there and amazing. So music videos tend to allow more creativity and more cool stuff as opposed to more money and bigger budget.
I see. Well, I always thought music videos were way more. Yeah,
money and the story.
I always thought that music videos were like way more sexy than TV shows or even movies sometimes. I don't know. That's what I think.
They can be. It all depends on the concept, you know, and what they have in store. But I think there's benefits to each. And long format means that, you know, you just get more time to tell a more compelling story. So the time formats of all those different platforms enable you to reach a viewer audience in a different way. And depending on that platform can dictate how you communicate and relay with that audience. So for me, it's about reaching the audience and having an impactful dialogue, so to say, with them, whereby they can understand the story. Because like I said, it's all about story. What good is it to have, you know, something like Transformers or something big with visual effects and there's no story? It's just a polished piece of turd, really.
Yeah. I know, a good story always gets me going. So now you are working on something and it's all about shout out. Tell us about the shout out series. What exactly is that?
It's a shout out. Shout out LA is a series focused primarily here in Los Angeles about movers and shakers in the community. They don't necessarily have to be entertainment based, but they have to be thought-provoking leaders who inspire and who want to share and help others. And it was a series that I was featured in last week. Shout out to Stacey Abrams and the rest of the Shout Out LA team for bringing me in just to talk to the community about goals, aspirations, dreams, and always believing in yourself. Because, you know, from where I'm sitting, 20 plus years, there was a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of ups and downs and depression and wanting to give up because there's no opportunity. So it was a great opportunity for me to speak with the community about sticking to your guns and believing what you believe and never giving up.
I never give up.
I can tell. You're a New Yorker.
I'm a New Yorker, dog. Born in Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn, and now I live in Long Island, but I never give up. And I will never give up until I physically cannot do what I am doing now. If I cannot physically come to the computer and interview people, or physically can't go to an event and interview, then I'll stop. But as long as I can get up every morning, take a shower, you know, brush my teeth, put my makeup on, I will never give up, never. So now tell my audience about the organizations that you want to dedicate the shout out to. Do you have organizations that you want to dedicate?
I have a few. I definitely Safe Place for the Youth is an organization here in Los Angeles that fights homelessness, especially within the youth. I have a friend who runs that, Amy Favat. She's really making headwaves here in LA. Her and her husband and a group of other people put together this event for charity. It's called 100 Pieces, where talented artists donate their artwork that is sold by silent auction, and all the proceeds go to the organization in terms of providing more resources for a safe place for the youth. So shout out to Amy Favat and Allison. My friend Allison also runs that with Amy. So they're doing a terrific job, and they're really making a difference, you know, in the street, on a street level. And these are people who, you know, these women are amazing. I mean, they're mothers, they're business owners, they're wives. They do a lot. And
I would love to interview them for my television show. I think I go to a lot of charity galas and a lot of charity events. Unfortunately, because of the COVID, they don't have that right now. Everything is virtual. But I would love to maybe do an interview with these ladies.
I can definitely set that up for you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Maybe later on you could send me some information about that. So now, tell us about your latest project. What are you working on right now? You're doing this music video with some of these hip hop stuff, right?
Yeah, there's a few. We're actually finishing up those. We started those during the summer, and now they're in full post-production. So they should be ready by the end of the month to be released to the public. But also simultaneously, I do have two distribution deals. One distribution deal that I have is with a company called The On Channel, and I'm an executive producer there. And my job is to secure intellectual property to be created that is suitable to be streamed on the network. And then I have another deal with a company called Media Kings out of Houston, which is very similar, but the deal is just structured a slightly different way.
It's hard work. You know, all of this is a lot of work. It's a lot of legalities. There's you have to have a lot of legal things going on. People have to sign contracts. It's not that easy to get these things off the ground. Let me ask you, is Hollywood still the place for people in the entertainment world? Would you say that Hollywood is still a place where you need to go?
Well, I think if you're a filmmaker, it definitely is, just because the year-round weather, you know, New York and LA. But if you're a filmmaker, for sure. If you're in music, it kind of doesn't really matter anymore. You know, just because of the internet. The internet's opened up so many different things, and along with COVID, right? People are working remotely all over the world, and
my husband is upstairs right now working on his computer. He used to work in New York City. I don't know what we're going to do here in New York City with all those office buildings.
Right.
The skyscrapers and all these office buildings all over the place, and nobody's in them. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. But well, we'll see what happens with all of that. There's a new reign going on right now, a new president. So we all hope for the best. Isn't that right, Sahir?
Absolutely, 100%.
We all hope for the best. We all hope that things will work out for both parties, for the Democrats and the Republicans, that we can all unite and work together and make us Americans. Make us
one people, one nation.
That's right. Now, tell my audience, if you want to learn more information about your sexy self, where can we go, Dolly? What's the website?
You're going to make a black man blush. Am I turning red?
Yes! I make every man blush. Don't you know? Everyone, all the men love me. Doesn't matter
I can
how
certainly
old they
tell.
are.
Look at that charisma.
Yes, darling. They could be young, middle-aged, old. It doesn't matter. I make all men blush.
And I see it. And age is just a number.
Age is just, I'm sexy, you know. Listen,
so how you feel, right?
I'll be a babe to the grave, you know. Isn't that what's her name? Mamie Van Doren says that all the time. She'll be a babe to the grave. She's in her 80s now, and she's still sexy.
And look at her.
She lives where you live in Los Angeles. I think she lives in Newport Beach.
Oh, okay.
She's
very nice.
She's like one of my idols. Anyway, tell my audience, darling, where can we go to find out more information?
Well, Cognac, if everyone's interested in finding out more information about me and what I do, you can go to my website, which is SahirChampion.com, which is SAHIR Champion, CHAMPION.com. You can see a full list of my portfolio of work that I've worked on, from producing to directing and editing. Another place to check me out is on Facebook, which is Sahir, SAHIR, Self, SELF, Savior, SAVIOR. And you can also reach me on Instagram by that same moniker, Sahir Self Savior or Sahir Champion. And you'll see my mug right smack dead in the middle, so you won't be able to.
Your handsome face. Sahir,
thank you.
Is that your real name, Sahir Champion, or is that a stage name?
Sahir Champion is my real name.
Really?
Yes, I haven't legally changed it, but I've been Sahir for 20 plus years now. But Sahir is more of the man that I became versus the boy that I was born.
Well, everybody asks me, is Cognac, is that your real name? Cognac Wellerlane. Is that your real name, Cognac Wellerlane? And I said, none of your business. But because they know I'm Italian. They know I'm Italian. So, it's probably, the real name is probably Connie. Isn't that your name, Connie? So I said, I'll never tell. I'll never tell. But,
well, you know, when people do that, they're trying to depower you. If you say my name is this, what does it matter to them? See, once again, this is about people trying to put us in boxes, and I refuse to be in a box.
Absolutely. Sahir, I love you. And I loved interviewing you. It was a real joy, and much luck. As we say in show business, break a leg on all your working on all your projects, and don't go away yet. We'll be back, darling, with more celebrity interviews here at Zoom. Keep watching Cognac's Corner Magazine. Pink Champagne Kisses.
Love it.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my interview with Sahir Champion. I certainly did. And don't forget, darlings, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to ring the notification bell. My channel is all about sexy, girly, pink fashions and pink decor. And I also interview celebrities on Zoom and at charity galas. Keep watching, darlings. More Zoom interviews and more girly hauls coming up. Pink Champagne Kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh.
This has been a Crybaby Productions, darling.